Hello and welcome to the Garden Shop How to Garden video. In this video we're going to show you how to sow lettuce seeds indoors. Now lettuce is a very versatile vegetable that can be grown, and you can have a variety of lettuce pretty much any time of year. There are hardy winter varieties that you can sow from late summer on, and you can have crops in late winter and early spring. And there are also the summer harvested varieties which you can sow right now in springtime and then harvest throughout the summer months. So how to sow lettuce? Well, basically we have here in front of us a 84 cell plug tray, and this is a good way of starting off your lettuce seedlings indoors. Now I already have this full with compost. In this case I've just used a general potting compost. Just basically place the compost over your potting on tray, which I will do. There's a few cells here that need to pop up, so you just basically place the cell on the soil on top of your seed tray, and then just level it off with your hand just to bring the soil right up to the top. Once you have your soil in place, then take something like a pressure sprayer is ideal really. If you look at it here, it gives a very good distribution of water. Just give it a pump to get the pressure going, and then a nice good force of water coming out there without soaking or really washing away all the soil. So with this you need to give it a good soaking. If compost has been watered before, it can take a lot of water to get it wet, but this compost is quite wet already, so shouldn't need too much more. Now, as I said, there are many types of lettuce. In this video we're just going to show you how to sow the summer harvested variety, and summer harvested lettuce should be sown indoors in early spring. Now the reason why we sow crops indoors before planting them out is really to extend the growing season. We can sow our lettuce seeds indoors in mid-February, and then you can care for them indoors, keeping them warm, moist and well ventilated over that time. And then once weather picks up towards the end of spring or into April, you can then transplant your lettuces out into the warmer soil, into the warmer air, where they will happily grow away. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sow this second row here of plugs with our lettuce seed. In this case I'm using the variety all year round. So this particular variety can be grown for summer crops from spring onwards, and it can also be grown for a winter crop in late summer onwards. So I'm just going to tip a few out. They're quite small. Tip a few right out into my hand here. Okay, and what we want to do now, I have the seeds in my hand here, is I'm just going to sow roughly 2 per plug. Okay, so when you're doing that, keep it as best you can towards the centre of each plug. Roughly 2. If you get more, that's not a problem. What we're going to do once these seedlings emerge is we're going to thin it out to just 1 seedling per plug. Okay, so it can be a slow process, but you don't want to be too exact about it. And then the last one here. So again, another thing to note about lettuce is I'm only going to sow one row right now, which is roughly 12 plants, but you'd want to do that maybe every 2 weeks, and that's the whole idea behind lettuce, is to stagger your planting times so that you sow your seeds every 2 weeks, and therefore you continue to have a harvest throughout the summer months. One problem that you will find with lettuce is that it's very prone to bolting, and bolting is when a plant goes to seed very early, therefore losing vigour and losing its foliage. So the idea then of staggering your planting times means that you can get different crops at different times. So what I want to do now after sowing the seed is just put a small sprinkling of soil over the plug itself, and then just give that a light press in so that you have good contact between the compost and the seed, and that's important to get germination going. Now germination should be about 2 weeks away, and then once the seedlings emerge, what we want to do then is to thin out so that you only have 1 seedling per plug. Then allow the seedlings to grow up to about 15 centimeters in height, 10 centimeters in height, and at that point we can then transplant them right out into our vegetable garden where they will be grown. For spacing then, plant your seedlings about 15 centimetres apart in the rows, and then what you need to do is keep your seedlings well watered and keep your vegetable plot well weeded, and then you can begin harvesting your crop towards the middle of July. So that's it really. This is the first step involved in how to sow a lettuce seed from thegardenshop.ie.